Strike. No one's saving those.
I want our viewers to just understand what the Proud Lilywhites are, and because there'll be a number of people that won't know about the impact of your work, how it initially started, and where you currently are with it. I don't know who wants to take that on. Simon, I'm fine with you.
Yeah. So the Proud Lilywhites, which is the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender fan association for Tottenham Hotspur, was formed about a year ago. We worked with an organisation called GFSN, which is the Gay Football Supporters Network. They brokered a relationship with the club. The club put out a press release asking for LGBT fans who were interested in forming a supporters association to come and meet them. A number of us did, and from there we sort of snowballed into creating an association with other fans, with the club's blessing, to help them understand more about the issues that LGBT fans face at clubs, at football in general, and also to help provide a safe space for us as fans to go and watch home games and away games together.
Why do you feel this was necessary? Why in 2015 is it necessary to make a fans group just around the LGBT issues that we have?
Good question.
Yeah.
I think our aim would be that eventually we won't need it at all.
Okay.
But I think as an LGBT football fan, it quickly becomes apparent sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, that football is for somebody else.
Yes.
But actually, football's for me, it's for Simon, it's for all of us. And actually, sort of to have an LGBT supporters association that says, OK, we want to create a safe space for Spurs fans to watch football, LGBT Spurs fans to watch football together, and to ensure that there's dialogue and debate around these issues, and sort of, you know, talk about, you know, what's out there, and have an education programme, if you like, without that sounding kind of horribly patronising, about sort of what it is to be an LGBT Spurs fan. And you know, the response we've had has been mostly positive.
Okay.
And actually we've had a really, you know, and lots of people have said it's great that you exist, and people find us all the time and send us messages and say, that's wonderful, I really want to join. You know, we have some detractors, but that's actually
well,
great.
I suppose that's where I was going to jump onto. You said mostly positive. What is the other part of that?
Well, people know not to be homophobic. Although we have had some very direct homophobia, we've had threats of violence, but the club have taken that very seriously.
Okay.
So, you know, but that's sort of, we won't talk about, get into detail on that, because I don't want to give that a voice necessarily.
No, not at all.
But so, you know, what you get is people sort of saying, well, why do you need that? We haven't got an association for straight fans. I mean, you've probably seen that anyone who watches Match of the Day and doesn't fast forward through Spurs, which of course we don't, you'll see the flag, and the flag's in a prominent position, and it's terrific. And we've had messages from all over the world, actually, particularly on big game days. You know, from South Africa, from all over America, from different parts of the Far East, saying it's wonderful to see your flag there. And of course, you know, our detractors say, well, why haven't I got a flag?
Right, okay.
And of course, the flag policy is very clear. As long as it's not non-political, non-denominational, then everyone's welcome to have a flag at White Hart Lane, you know. And so we have a little bit of that. And we also have a little bit of, you know, a little bit of kind of, I don't see why you're making such a fuss. You know, why do you want to kind of single yourselves out? But actually, it's a different experience. And, you know, there's no point in pretending we're all the same. We're not.
Exactly.
And it's fine not to be the same, but it's not okay to be discriminated against or to be treated differently by your fellow fans or by anybody, because there is a difference between you and the person sitting next to you.
So, Simon, how does it make you feel seeing that flag at White Hart Lane, knowing the impact of your work? I'm not going to talk about the negatives because it's a whole positive feel about tonight. So how does that make you feel, knowing that you've set this up from scratch? You've had great buy-in from the football club, which I think once you get endorsed from the football club, I think it makes your work, don't take this wrong, so much easier. How does that make you feel, knowing that you've taken this from ground zero?
So, well, incredibly happy and incredibly proud, of course. I think, speaking personally as a Spurs fan, and having been a Spurs fan since I was a kid, because that's what you do in my family, for many years, didn't feel that I could go to the ground, didn't really have people to go with. You know, and if you do go, well, what are you going to hear, and what are the things that people are going to say, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So going there, knowing that the club are supportive of having people LGBT there, the same way they have you know, specific areas carved out for disabled fans to make sure they're welcome, they make sure they're looked after. It's great. It's comforting knowing that the stewards know what to listen for, knowing that the staff are all mindful, etc., etc.
Yeah.
It just makes it a much more relaxing experience.
Strike. No one's saving those.